How about because I know you've been overseas to, Ireland and areas over there. How are the golf courses there?
It's interesting because you've got some courses that were built more modern. Like when I just saw a member just went over there and played in St. Andrews, and I asked him, they just had the 150th anniversary British Open, the Open, like, in July, so not too long ago. And I asked him what he thought and what his favorite course was, and he mentioned Kingsbarns. And Kingsbarns is about 10 minutes from St. Andrews, and Kingsbarns was built like 20 years ago, and it's got like 4 holes right on the ocean. It's they used modern equipment when they built it, and to me, there's Castle Stewart, that one, European Club, Old Head. Those courses are only less than 30 years old, and they're a little bit almost better than the ones that are like 200 years old. But
What makes that? What makes them better?
well, the other part is where a lot of a golf course is the land that you're given. What makes a great architect is also the land you're given.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these courses are literally right on the water.
Oh, okay.
And if you built a course, back then, you might have been a mile from the ocean, and you built this little course, and you didn't have anything to move the ground around, and you kind of just, built, some pits for bunkers and things like that. And it ended up being, good. It's a good course. But when you now all of a sudden a guy says, okay, I can buy these 7 miles of oceanfront and build a course right in the ocean, and I can hire an architect, and he can come in and use, bulldozers and technology and GPS mapping and all this stuff. He can kind of almost blow the old courses out of the water when it comes to look and feel.
Yeah.
But you replace the tradition of some of those places and how
Right.
long they've been there.
Yeah.
And so that's what you kind of find over there. You play a couple of the old ones, you play a couple of the new ones, then you kind of go, gosh, the new one was almost prettier than the old one,
Yeah. But I mean, you're also kind of playing the old one just because of the story and the reputation it has.
Oh, for sure. And then you walk across the little bridges, and you go into town afterwards to these bars that have been there for who knows 200 or 300 years. Wow. And it's really cool.
That's amazing. Yeah, because I think you guys do some things. I don't know if you guys have been to Ireland here with the members.
I've been there a couple times.
Okay.
I've been to Ireland twice, Scotland twice, Spain, and Portugal over in Europe. The other hot spot that I tell people if you ever want to go is New Zealand. And New Zealand has some really good golf courses down there. And they're a little bit more new courses. They're Cape Kidnappers, Corrie Cliffs. I played a place called Tara Eady, who's now ranked number 2 in the world for international courses, and it debuted at number 2 for international. It's a Tom Doak golf course right on the ocean.
Wow.
And it's unbelievable. And so, that's the whole thing. You get these billionaires. All those courses that I mentioned are basically owned by billionaires, and they want to build something that's world renowned. And so they somehow find a way to negotiate to buy this land, and this land is so prime because it's right on the ocean or it's on a cliff like Torrey Pines, and you hire a world-class designer and spend however many millions building it, and then you build a lodge, and then you charge people a lot of money to
That's
come.
amazing.
It's crazy. But these guys that do that, or ladies that do this, they aren't necessarily always looking for what's my return on my investment. Mm-hmm. And that's what's different about golf. I mean, who would, go into a business where you spend all this money to build some golf course and then not worry about how much as long as it breaks even or whatever, so that's pretty cool. We, as golfers, we get to reap those benefits. But have you been to Bandon Dunes?
No.
Yeah, that's pretty much kind of like going to Ireland or Scotland, right up in Oregon, right along the coast.
Okay.
And that is one of the greatest experiences you can have. And because of the success of the first couple courses, I think they're now up to 6 golf courses. And Mike Kaiser does an incredible job. And he's really changed the whole area, because with 6 courses and there's
They have 6 courses at this golf course.
and they're always busy. And he's got caddies that you take. It's basically supporting a whole economy up there, and it's one of the best experiences, hands down. And he's now gone on to build at other places. He's got a place in Wisconsin called Sand Valley, and he's got Cabot Links or Cabot up in Nova Scotia in Canada. So he's now on his 3rd and maybe going on 4th major project like that.
Wow. Did Bandon Dunes, did it start as one course, or did they start as a few courses?
It was one course. His last name is Kidd, David Kidd. He did the first one. It was called Bandon Dunes, so that's what gave it its name. And then the second course was Pacific Dunes, and that was done by Tom Doak. And Tom Doak was already starting to gain in the notoriety. And after Pacific Dunes, he's kind of, those guys are basically, the most sought after kind of architects right now.
Wow.